Does that no get the blood pumping, guys? Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. It's time for another Retro Raw review, 5th of October 1998. Now, I'll be honest, then a couple of live streams referencing this Raw past couple of days. I actually called it the 26th of October. Now, to be fair, there is actually a Raw on the 26th of October, but that was not the one I watched. That did have Ken Shamrock versus Austin in an I Quit match, but tonight we don't have that, but we do have some other great things, such as The Rock versus The Undertaker, Kane versus Ken Shamrock, European titles on the line as X-Pac defends against D'Lo Brown, and Stone Cold Steve Austin confronts Vince McMahon in the hospital. Well, doesn't that sound a lot more interesting than an entire year of professional wrestling in 2025? But we begin the show with a video package recapping what happened last week, and by God, folks, right? Listen to what happened last week. So we get a video package of Austin turning up in the Zamboni, right? Jumps off the Zamboni, starts battering the fuck out of McMahon, gets arrested. You know, he's like, McMahon, what? He's giving him middle fingers. You know, he's like, I never lost the belt, what? And then McMahon gives Kane and Undertaker the middle fingers. He calls one of them mentally retarded and one of them physically retarded. They start battering the fuck out of McMahon and break his leg. So that's why McMahon's in the hospital. I mean, forget about the 5th of October. I want to go back to the end of September 1998 and check out what was happening. Fucking epic. No two. I mean, honestly, this Raw hasn't even begun. And just seeing what happened last week, 10 out of 10. Fucking, I mean, come on. Those iconic, I mean, two iconic moments literally back to back each other. Absolutely fantastic. But anyway, it's Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary. We have an absolute belter here as D'Lo Brown defeats X-Pac. You think you can sell us what to wear? You think that you're better? You better get ready to bow down to the master. Suck it, fool. Anyway, D'Lo Brown, new European champion of the world. Good wee match here. China and Mark Henry getting involved. X-Pac dives to the outside. Mark Henry catches him. World's strongest slam into the apron. Throws X-Pac into the ring. D'Lo Brown with the they call it the body armor suit that he wears at this stage of his career. Frog splash. D'Lo the Brown down. What was he? What did he call it? I can't actually remember what he called it. But I tell you what, man, D'Lo Brown squishes him. 1, 2, 3. Bob's your uncle, and D'Lo Brown's the new European champion again. Match only went 5 minutes. Told what it needed to tell, and we've got a title change within like 10 minutes or all turning on, man. Absolutely great. We cut to McMahon. He's in a local, undisclosed medical facility. He's yelling at a nurse. McMahon, not a happy man. We then cut to the oddities. This was fucking insane, by the way. The oddities are playing football, college ball, baby, with the insane clown posse. This was some crazy ass shit, damn it. Anyway, headbangers come out. They call it the Insane Clown Posse. This was weird because they're like, right, Insane Clown Posse, you can only get in the ring if you send the oddities back. So they send the oddities back, Insane Clown Posse get in the ring, and then they get battered, then the oddities come out for the save. It was a little bit weird. We then got some footage on Saturday Night Heat as Austin essentially grabs a fire axe and goes to the production truck and just cuts the feed to McMahon in the hospital, the satellite feed, clean in half, and McMahon disappears from our footage, which is just absolutely. I mean, that happened on Sunday Night Heat, so let's just reiterate what happened. Austin takes a fire axe to the production truck and cuts the satellite feed to McMahon. Oh, aye. You know, it's not an exaggeration when back in the day you legitimately had a case that Sunday Night Heat's better than WrestleMania now. Like, genuinely not. Absolutely fucking crazy. We got JR and King, they're discussing what happened at Breakdown and the events that have took place since then. McMahon is in at the medical facility when Mankind, Mick Foley, barges in. Look, McMahon, it's Mr. Socko! Mr. Socko! McMahon is fuming. You're Bull the Clown. I can do you a dog, McMahon. Just absolutely fucking epic shit, damn it. Sable, apparently she went to a female prison facility, whatever the hell that means. She comes out of the commentary. I tell you what, Tory was in the crowd standing behind. This was interesting, but it was Marvelous Mark Merrill versus the big man, Vader. And I tell you what, Vader just fucking loses this match. Now, yeah, there was a low blow, and he did get hit with like a 450 splash from Mark Merrill, but is it not insane that Mark Merrill just defeats Vader clean here? I don't know. Like, well, I say clean. I don't think Mark Merrill should be beating Vader, even with a low blow. But yeah, I like Mark Merrill, but just shows you by 98, Vader's stock has absolutely plummeted. That is a very slept on intro in my opinion, but we do basically have a wee bit more a back and forth between Jacqueline and Sable, and then Jacqueline cuts Sable's hair. Now it was quite obvious that it was hair extensions, but it is what it is. He's a man, a real man's man. Steven Regal comes out here. I say he comes out, there's like a vignette. He's making orange juice with his bare hands, so that is 100% pure orange. Well done, Willie Regal. Owen Hart is then scheduled to face Edge. He comes out in street clothes like, enough is enough and it's time for a change. Down, down, down. How great did wrestling used to be, guys, man. I could fucking cry about how bad it is. Owen Hart comes out in street clothes. He apologises for dropping Dan Severn on his head last week. He's like, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm done. I quit the WWF. Cole catches up with him backstage. He's like, it's over, Maggle. And it just shows you if Owen literally left here, he'd probably still be alive, but it just shows you like life has got the plan set out for you. But Edge wins via forfeit here. We then got Ken Shamrock versus Kane, damn it. Kane. Right. See this match. Clash of styles, but by God, this was interesting. The chemistry wasn't exactly on point, but you know what? It's an MMA guy against a 7-footer. This is never going to be your wrestling classic, but the styles for me meshed well. Sorry, Undertaker came out, and he's obviously getting in Kane's head. They're feuding here for the belt. Austin's going to be the special guest referee. I believe it's Judgment Day, and then Kane gets crotched on the top rope by Undertaker. Shamrock then hits a massive fucking maneuver with a super power slam. And 1, 2, 3. Kane loses. Again, I don't really agree with Kane getting pinned here because it's Kane. But I love Ken Shamrock, man. Seen the attitude. Ken Shamrock was the fucking man. Ken Shamrock coming up with a 2x4 in the Union. Fucking better than Mania, man. How many times has he said that? A lot. We have Val Venus and Terry Runnels backstage. Terry Runnels and the Diddies are absolutely pointing at this stage of the game. Look at them, damn it. Look at them. They're looking back, guys. But yeah, this then led to Val Venus versus Gangrel. I mean, honestly, just Val Venus' entrance. He's like, I've got the Magic Johnson. Just great. And then you've got Gangrel and Christian coming. The entrance, the drinking, the blood. Edge comes out. He's like, Christian, what are you doing? What are you doing, Christian? What are you doing? Just absolutely great. Gangrel gets counted out due to this because him and Christian start battering Edge. And then they celebrate in the ring when Goldust is apparently returning next week to the premiere, his own premiere. So that'll be interesting. We then seen Austin confront Shane McMahon on Heat, and he then had a stare down with The Rock. McMahon then announces he demands a new nurse and a painkiller. Just fucking so much going on here. Some great shit, man, honestly. We then got Al Snow defeating Double J because Commissioner Slaughter got involved. This was probably the one thing on the show I didn't care for, but again, it's Al Snow against Double J. What does everybody want? It just felt, Sergeant Slaughter just felt like he was sticking it like a sore thumb here, or should I say a sore chin, but it was still alright. But he is the commissioner. You would think that he would maybe like, well, you know what? How about we reverse that decision? Or something along those lines. Right. We then have the Road Dogg, Jesse James. The Badass. Nah, Billy Gunn's no there. But he has a blow-up doll. And they take on Honestly, the Road Dog Jesse James, the badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws. Just fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X proudly brings to you the tag team champions of the world, the New Age Outlaws. Oh man, fucking, oh, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Lawler revealed on commentary that Mark Henry, is suing China for sexual harassment. We'll see how far that goes, but Road Dogg defeats Henry. Guess it makes sense. It was after X Pac gave Henry an X Factor, kind of paying the receipt earlier in the night when he battered X Pac, so that's all good. We got another recap of last week's offense. You know what? It was that good. Why the fuck not do it again? Right. Stone Cold Steve Austin. The nurse is checking out McMahon, and she's like, "What do you think, doctor?" He's like, "I think he needs his ass whipped." Oh, McMahon turns around, it's Austin, starts battering the fuck out of him, starts attacking his leg. McMahon's screaming. He then cracks him over the head with the bedpan. Probably one of the most iconic images of the Attitude Era. Just fucking epic, man. And then hits him with the defibrillator, and then shoves the enema right up his arse, just like McMahon would have wanted. And it fades to black as McMahon's screaming, and it's just his facial expressions, his screaming, the bedpan shot, Austin like hiding in the corner and then battering. This is just fucking fantastic, man. There is no two ways about it. This is the attitude. See, when you think of the attitude era, you think of Austin McMahon and Austin fucking cracking him in the skull with a bedpan, right? And guess what, folks? Just in case you thought that end at Raw, no. We had The Undertaker versus The Rock. By God. I mean, what a fucking main event. It lasted about, 15 minutes. D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry come out. This was a bit weird, though. Kane walks out, and then they head back to the locker room, which is funny. Um, you know, this is just absolute some good shit, damn it. The people's elbow gets hit. Didn't look at the hard camera, though. El Hebner gets bumped into the corner. Kane then throws a chair into the ring, kicks it up, man, picks it up, hits the Undertaker right in the head, but Hebner ain't there to pin. Hebner ain't there to pin because he's been knocked out in the corner. Kane then leaves thinking, well, you know what, I've got Rock the win there, but obviously Undertaker doesn't kick out because Hebner's down. And then what happens, folks? Undertaker sits up. He does the sit up, and then he does a massive tombstone on top of the chair. 1, 2, 3. Absolute epic shit here. Kane, Undertaker going at it. Austin's going to be the guest referee at Judgment Day. What a match that is. I mean, but Scott's blog of doom said this. Still a thumbs down effort this week because it was such a chore, to get to the good stuff. But listen to this. This is interesting. The ratings, right? Raw did a 4.55 against Nitro's 4.5. And that's insane because obviously this was back when the ratings, they didn't you did get the million viewership overall, but also the ratings were based off a different system where it was weird how they worked out the average because you could get 7 million viewers overall, but then the actual rating for the show used to be 4.5 or 5, for example. They started taking that out about 10, 12 years ago. But it just shows you, I mean, 4.55 million watched WWE and 4.5 watched Nitro. You're talking there over 9 million are watching Monday Night Raw in terms of the old rating system. Just absolute crazy. Anyway, folks, it averaged, when they combine them, that gets over a 9. I'm giving this a 9. I thought this was fantastic. It's not quite a 10 because I do feel like 10s have to be reserved for special, the best shows, but this is almost this is what everything the Attitude Era embodied, and it was fantastic.